Back again with another tutorial. This time around we got ourselves the Ancient Staff from the Desert Treasure Quest. The build material I use this time is a lot more sturdier and it won't move around as much as that foam one did. It's still kind of laying there as trash. I should really clean that up. But not that hard of a build. Let's go ahead and get right to it. You're going to need a pen and a box cutter. A dowel about 6 feet long, there's just a small piece, and a small hacksaw. One just foam board. A couple paints for the stick and for the actual head of Zaros. And some masking tape. A glue gun, this is a small low temperature one I happen to find, and the actual template. And one sheet of craft foam and a heat gun is optional. Now the template is kind of a bitch to make, but you have it now. Go ahead and print it out and put it onto the foam board and start tracing out 3. You should be able to fit about 3. And once you have those, to make cutting a little bit easier, I just went ahead and started cutting them out from each other, just making sure not to actually cut the actual shape, just so I had a little bit more room because I only have so much space on the workbench. Cutting out any of the symbols, the god symbols like Bondo's or anything, in this particular case Zaros' symbol, is going to be the hardest part of it. It's going to take a long time, but again, just start with the outside, leave the inside for later. For the inside, because there's a lot of corner pieces, slightly press on each corner and try not to make it too much of a it's short. Just try making it one cut and letting it indent through after about 3 cuts, and cut the length pieces next. It's the biggest part of this project, and it really could make or break the project when it comes down to it, unless you want your staff to look a little more rugged, which could work if you want to make it like a more broken one. But I tried going for perfection the first time. Came out okay, close enough. Really, there's no perfection, but when it came out down to it, it took about an hour to cut them out properly. And about an hour at most, you should have 3 symbols of Zaros that will be the head of the staff. But the way they're attached, I'll show you right now. In a bit, ignore the video and just pause it on a certain frame. On this frame, go ahead and pause it. For some reason, I didn't put enough footage to actually explain how I cut it out, but really, it's pretty self-explanatory. Cut along a small indent within the dowel, because the dowel isn't the strongest wood. You could just cut it out with a small little bounce saw. At the same time, cut out whatever about inch down so that it fits onto the bottom of the Zaros, and attach it within the middle staff, so that when the middle part of the head is the symbol of Zaros, and maybe glue the bottom part that isn't cut and the top part that is glued, and make sure those align perfectly, because the way the template is, it is a bit askew, so it will not fit up if you flip it the other way. And once you have the bottom 2 put together, go ahead and glue the dowel onto the small indent that you made earlier. And just like before, go ahead and get your glue gun and put again the 3rd layer of this so that it covers both sides, so that it looks more flush than it actually is. And that is the entire build. I'm not even lying. At this point, it is just paint and the small little optional part. If you see any imperfections, go ahead and cut them out. I was fine with what they came out. I got a bit impatient. I was like, yeah, it's fine, even though it looks decent at best. And start getting your paints. Go ahead and get your primer and start priming the entire dowel and the symbol of Zaros. Give that 1 or 2 coats of paint, only the primer, and after that, go ahead and start putting on the actual colors you desire. The purple I chose was a pretty dark, flat purple. That was a primer and purple paint. Came out alright. As usual, put on small layers first, and then light layers, and then finish it after 2 to 3 layers. If you just try rushing it, it'll look bad up close. Once that's done, go ahead and cover that with some paper or some tape, and start painting the dowel itself. I had like a green and a black, and I tried doing that and it worked out. This part is optional. In short, I got just a small little piece of a dowel that I cut off earlier, and I got a craft foam piece, and try to make it wrap around the entire dowel so that it wouldn't look like the little bottom part. After that, with the foam piece, I put a heat gun to it, and when the heat gun does, it seals the pores. That's why it has shine, so I don't have to put on a primer. And it just, so basically, foam eats paint, and this just helps it. When it is heated up, you can also shape it up a lot faster. And really, it's not that hard. I'll make another video for this too. It's not that hard to work with craft foam and heat gun. And I just let that to dry, painted it purple. That's actually the bottom part, which I attach right here, because as you can see, there's a small bit that I didn't paint. This just covers it up. If you do a much better paint job than I did, you could just paint that purple too. I got a little bit lazy and I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and throw this in there so that it has that little extra small little detail. And if the build is pretty much done, this video is a little bit more lax. I'm pretty sure you guys could have realized, since I'm not as uptight with it, I guess. I'm more relaxed about it. But with that, yeah, you're done. Go ahead and make one for your office for LARPing, whatever. Like always, thanks for watching and take it easy.